evening, vampires, werewolves, and all other nocturnal beings. Welcome to Tiddies By Night, a Vampire the Masquerade actual play run entirely by creatures of marginalized genders and presented by Tabletop Tiddies. My name is Kelly, my pronouns are they, them, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. But before we get into the episode, we want to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada and how Canada has and continues to take from the Indigenous people. The effects of colonization are still felt to this day, and we acknowledge that this episode is being recorded on the stolen lands of the Anishinaabe, Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, I keep mispronouncing that one, Haudenosaunee, Wendat, Sequetmik, Apache, Cheyenne First Nations. If you would like to know more about the effects of colonization and support some Indigenous charities and organizations, you can go to the resources page on our website at tabletoptiddies.com/resources. With me, I am joined by the new IOU.
Oh, she.
Hello. My name is Emily Matchette. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Imogen Wright, the Salubri, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Hi, everybody. I am Charlene Bear. I go by she, they pronouns, and I play Octavia Miller, the Tremere, whose pronouns are she, her. I do want to acknowledge that I'm coming, our Vancouver friends are coming from the stolen lands of the Tsleil-Waututh nations.
I need to update that.
I'm Dare, pronouns she, they, they. I am going to be a problem today, as I am playing Leon Cavallo, pronouns he, him, a Toreador who's never done anything wrong, as all Toreadors are wont to do.
Love that. Hi, I'm Rachel, pronouns she, her. I am playing Evelyn Stormloft, the Nosferatu, whose pronouns are also she, her, and she's totally never done anything wrong either.
Yeah.
Innocent.
Hi, I'm Casper. My pronouns are they, them. I will be playing the gangrel himbo, Belgium Jerry, whose pronouns are he, him.
Have you done anything bad in your entire life?
Oh, plenty.
Good. At least you're owning it.
Imogen's only done bad things. It's called Catholic guilt.
You're the only one I would believe. Anyway.
Anyway, time to thank our season sponsor. Inspire to create a space you can be proud of at Inspire to Create Shop, a small Canadian business supporting and sourcing their materials from other small Canadian businesses. They have everything to make your space as cool and nerdy as possible. They have cheeky and funny decals, whatever you like, to personalize your walls and cars, and dishwasher-safe mugs sporting your favorite class for when you come out of a long rest. Roll for initiative with Inspire to Create Dice Towers and get one for yourself using our code Tiddies By Night for a discount at Inspire 2 Create Shop on Etsy.
Woo! We also use Sirenscape on our stream to help make everything more atmospheric with sound effects, music, and of course the voices of our sires. You can use it too. It's free at sirenscape.com.
Hey, guess what? Emily has a thing to plug.
Yes, I want to plug. If you're in Vancouver, you should definitely head to the Redgate Review stage on Granville Island to check out The Girl Next Door. It is an original queer Canadian pop rock musical written by fellow Tiddy Sara and starring other fellow Tiddy Cat. And say hi to me in the lobby because I'm co-producing it. So I watch all the tickets. That's what I do. I watch the tickets and I hope no one gets sick because that means that I have to go on stage and I'd rather not do that. So, yep. Come see it. The Girl Next Door. Everything can be found at paintedfernproductions.com. Yep. Starting off strong. I'm going to drink now.
Is everybody ready?
I'm not ready!
Possible triggers for tonight. Restraint, disregard for human life, burial, and general vampire stuff. You know, blood-sucking, eating people. Leaving body parts behind in a room that you've been shoved into after taking a long, long nap.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Nothing
Didn't do anything
wrong ever.
Nothing wrong ever.
Previously on Tiddies By Night, the saviors of the IOU took their bodies to the aptly named feeding pit an underground kindred hangout. I refuse to name it now. It was a perfect name. First one. Once inside, they argued with Valentina Giovanni, who demanded that Leon and Jerry leave before the seneschal arrived. After some back and forth, they were informed by Diana, the mysterious owner of the feeding pit, that they were too late. The seneschal had already arrived. Evelyn Lorelei Secor II, the right hand of the Prince of the Camarilla. Valentina was chewed out for getting outside help. The prince had given her a mission to save the IOU. Apparently, he has a curious interest in them. Octavia and Evelyn were brought out of torpor and fed on what they could. The seneschal informed them that they suspect the attack on the IOU was orchestrated by Elbrecht Graf, the current harpy. If it was him, the IOU needs to be able to prove it. If they can't within a week, then there will be a culling of the mortals in the city. After introductions were made and Evelyn is given the temporary harpy status, the new and old members of the IOU left to gather clues. We left off with Octavia stepping out of the feeding pit and immediately having a premonition of Marguerite running through the woods, the sounds of howls off in the distance. And that's where we're picking up. We left off there, and now we're picking it back up.
Marguerite! She needs our help. I could feel it.
Where? What did you... Oh, where is she?
The smell of forest, the sound of hooves and paw prints on the ground. It must have been Hyde Park.
Oh, that is not good.
Boy, I know that.
You've been there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Have you frequented? Do the residents of the forest accept you?
Well, for a good bout, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, trick is, though.
Somehow I don't know if I believe him.
Nah, the trick is, though, I can go, but, look, if I lose, I die.
Well, we definitely
you just
don't want
fight them for fun. Okay, we're not going to fight werewolves for fun. This is work.
Especially not in my current state. I have no help.
Yes, I literally, if anyone looks at us wrong, we're absolutely not in a good spot. Let's just be careful.
Agreed.
I'll be quite honest, I have no desire to help fight anything.
Good.
No, I do.
The stakes are quite
I'm a good
high.
fight.
Perhaps, Jerry, could you do me a favor?
Sure.
Just hold me as tight as you can.
All right.
And I'm going to try and heal my aggravated damage.
All right. Give me 3 rouse checks.
I just need to not get 3 fails.
Yeah, if you
in a
get 3
row.
failures.
That's why Jerry's holding me. It'll be fine. First one's a 6. It's okay, everybody. Okay. 7. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
10.
Ooh.
Oh,
My big, strong arms.
So, Jerry, as you hold on to Octavia, Prophet sort of like looks concerned up at you. If anyone else did this, he'd probably like immediately start attacking. But seems oddly chill for you. And Octavia, you dig deep as you focus on the beast inside of you, and everything sort of goes dim for a moment as you can feel the slashes and cuts and wounds all over your body that are no longer bleeding but are still present. Some of them slowly start healing up, and you can feel some of the organs inside of you just sort of like kind of, sew themselves up a little bit.
Hell yeah.
As you recover 1 aggravated damage.
All that work for 1. My
Listen,
goodness.
It's hard. It's
I know.
Very, it takes all of your focus to do this.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, no problem.
What I wouldn't do for Imogen to be here right now, because I do feel a little bit better, but not as much as I would have hoped.
Yes, I think perhaps if we are going to continue any work. I kind of have to do the same thing.
You want me to LD?
Well, I could just do it, and then if I frenzy, I frenzy, but...
Yes, definitely hold her, Jerry.
Before I wrap Evelyn in my big beefy arms, I take off my vest because it's the only nice piece of clothing I have, and I hand it to Leon. Like, hey, you hold this for me.
To stop it from getting covered in viscera, absolutely.
Oh, appreciate it. And then I hug Evelyn.
Evelyn also is still, unless Evelyn took any steps to clean yourself, you are covered in like a man. There is parts of a like blood.
Brushed off a bit.
Yeah.
You see that I don't mind. It's the other.
It's the other stuff.
Also, if you're hugging Evelyn from behind, you just get a face full of hair.
Yes, true. Lots of hair.
Go ahead and give me 3 rouses, Evelyn.
3 rouses, baby.
Good luck.
Okay, we got a pass.
Nice.
Another pass.
Nice.
And not one.
Ooh.
That was a fail.
Could've been worse.
You
Could've been
focus in, and I mean, your body on the best of days is full of misplaced cartilage and just strange Nosferatu things. And you can feel like some of the bones cracking back into place. Your ribs are unbreaking. The just like remnants of a well-fought duel all over you are sort of just slowly closing up. And for a moment, you feel like you're doing this just harnessing the beast's power yourself. And just a little bit there at the end, you hear in your mind, well, dear Evelyn, back from the brink. I'm proud of you for how you devoured that man.
Shut up.
And you get 1 point hungrier.
Yes. But I have lost 1 aggravated health.
Yep.
Can I, while this is happening, since I have had 0 hunger, can I just do 3 more rouse checks to see? I can manage with 2 hunger. I can manage with 2. If I can get an extra point.
Unfortunately, the amount of effort required to heal an aggravated damage only allows you to do it once per night.
Fine.
If you had a bunch of superficial, you'd be chill. But
Fine.
you feel that sort of like it's very draining to do so. But you are now no longer a hair's breadth away from going back into torpor.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Leon, do you have any experience with the wolves?
That's a great question. Do I? And if I do, is it good?
I mean, that's up to you. So, context for the viewers at home as well as any new players. Hyde Park, which is sort of surrounded by portions of the city, is werewolf territory or Garou territory. And werewolves are very powerful, and they sort of like allow they don't go out into the city to defeat vampires. They sort of hang out in this area, but if any vampires show up, they have carte blanche to murder them on sight. Except for Jerry, apparently.
Yeah.
And so there are werewolves in the city. They're called glasswalkers. So you might have, if you choose to, you may have like interaction with the werewolves that sort of hang out in the city. But other than that, like the Hyde Park is a death zone for most vampires.
I know me. If I've had any interaction, it probably didn't go well. It eventually broke bad. It's been quite a while, and I mean, who can say what really happened? But in all honesty, let's better assume no. No is the operative term here.
I myself know of them, but I've never really interacted with them, so perhaps, I can't believe I'm saying this, Jerry, you might be our best bet, even though it's quite argumentative, the relationship you hold with the Garou.
Nah, it's a mutual thing.
Do I believe him?
Yeah, I'm like, does Jerry just go in and go, yo, fight me? And they're just like, what are you doing here?
Give me okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Evelyn, give me another intelligence and streetwise, and Octavia, give me a intelligence and insight.
All right.
Because I got different things for possibly what each of you would know.
3 successes.
2 for me.
All right. Octavia, you haven't really known Jerry for too long. His vocal tells not really drilled into your mind yet. He definitely seems to believe what he is saying. Evelyn, you once got very upset at one of your gang members for implying that there is a kindred that goes into Hyde Park to fight werewolves. It was stupid, and you thought it was a lie, and that gang member did not get praise for like a week after coming back with such dumb lore.
Oh boy! All right, who is it? Who is it?
It was Amber, and she was confident about it.
I feel bad now. Oh well, I'll deal with that later.
Just gonna apologize? What?
No, I'll just like give her like better jobs to go and do instead of the shit that she was doing.
So, from your location right now in the city of London, you're about 4 districts away from Hyde Park. And last I remember, did not know the location of Fiend.
That's right. And also, we didn't actually establish if Fiend was a familiar or not. I don't think I can have 2 at a time.
I mean, I give Evelyn so many ghouls. I'm okay if Fiend is also a little bit ghouled.
Okay, well then I can actually call her here.
Ooh.
I will use Feral Whispers. Allows 1 summoning with a rouse check, but hold on, let me make sure. It might be free if it's for my families.
Allows 2-way communication. You can summon animals. 1 rouse check per type of animal summon. Unlimited communication. So
Okay.
Give me a rouse check.
All right. It's worth it, I think, to potentially get hungrier for this.
Yeah.
10! I am hot today.
Damn.
We're going to the woods. We'll find
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of animals for you to snack on.
True.
And you're requesting that Fiend come to you?
Yes, as quickly as possible. This is all in my head.
You feel this happen. And feel like it worked. And you wait. And you wait.
It'll be a while. It's not instantaneous, so I suggest that we do keep moving, but eventually she'll be here. We can pick up the pace.
Did I have my mask inside the feeding pit, or when I went into torpor?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I imagine you have it
'Cause
like
we were
on you.
Because we were inside when I got attacked.
Do you take it off and put it on a desk inside?
Yeah, when I'm inside and I'm downstairs, I don't have it on.
You don't have your mask on you.
I will activate Cloak of Shadows in that case, since we are out and about.
All right. And then all of you begin to walk towards Hyde Park.
Oi, can I suggest we find your friend Emmy? Because I don't think you are going to be well enough to meet my mates.
You've got a point. I'd like to keep what little skin I have left.
Yeah.
No. Gross.
Thank you, Soul Wars RPG, for the raid.
Hey,
Madrid
hey.
after dark. Sounds cool.
Perfect
Ooh.
timing. As you're all discussing what to do, walking towards Hyde Park through, again, what feels like a very desolate night for London, even with the sort of like pressures that have been going on. And about half hour goes by, making your way through the cobblestone streets and sort of mistfall that you hear, and and through the mist, you see the sort of like pale, faint, glowing red eyes of Fiend and this like black horse galloping through the mist, and a fair blonde boy holding what appears to be a bouquet of flowers that have shone off in the wind. As Evelyn, you recognize Travis riding Fiend, who is dead set on making her way to Octavia. Travis apparently not prepared for this turn of events. And just as Fiend stops in front of Octavia, he sort of like tumbles forward and falls off of the horse onto the wet floor below you. Face first, and sort of like lying there with this torn up bouquet of flowers in his hands.
Adorable.
I would know those squeals anywhere, Travis.
What?
What?
He's a very awkward boy.
What?
Okay, fair.
What happened? The horse, and kind of like stands up and shakes off his head and looks around and says, "What? Wait, you're alive?"
Yes, I do apologize for the inconvenience. I'm gonna like reach into one of my pouches and take out a thin metal rod. Horse whistle. And I put it back in my pocket.
I thought you were all dead. Who are you? And points just like up at Jerry.
Belgium, Jerry. Nice to meet you.
You as well, and you? And
I accidentally crushed his forehead.
So I must have injured it in the fall. And you?
Forgive my rather rough and tumble friend there. Nice to meet you. My name is Leon Cavallo. It happened to be a bit of our doing to help save your friends.
Well, wait, Leo. I remember you. You, Marguerite left me notes on you. You're,
Were they nice notes about me? I just, what did, complimentary or derogatory? I
said
just need to
you
make
were
sure.
a fancy lad. And
That's right.
you went to the fair, and then I don't know. She kind of gave up at that point.
Okay, nicer than most. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Marguerite was she was a bit of rough one. What? How are you alive? The office was attacked. I was just going to Imogen's grave.
Oh, you know Emmy?
I did.
Did.
Now, what do you mean by grave? Let's circle back to that part.
She he sort of like throws the bouquet on the flower or on the ground and sort of dusts himself off a bit and says, she was attacked the same night you were. We had just come back from a date, and just as I had left, I heard a scream, and when I came back, she was dead. I was gonna bring her. I was gonna bring her to you, but I heard noises from the office, and it sounded like something awful was going on in there. I had to run. I took her with me.
What? So you loaded up a dead girl and decided to run away?
I didn't know what to do. I took Fiend, and sort of points up at Fiend. I had to get out. I figured whatever attacked her was attacking you.
You're an oddball, ain't you?
Yeah.
I've been told that, yes.
All right, take us to the body then.
What?
Take us to the body then.
I step forward. There is something that we must tell you, Travis. Imogen was very private about her family life and some of her medical conditions. There is a chance that she has been wrongfully interred.
What? What does that mean?
Wrongfully buried. She has a condition that slows her heartbeat almost instantly when she gets quite a fright. It must have happened during the attack. If we hurry, we might be able to save her. I do know some techniques.
I buried her a month ago.
Well, she hasn't died of starvation, and hopefully you had loose dirt to keep oxygen from going in there. Now let's go!
All right, I'll lead you the way. And starts running off into the city.
Silently, like very quietly, I just go up, like still in Cloak of Shadows, just to Leon, just to Leon, and kind of whisper, "I am very interested to see how this goes."
You did seem to leave two of the least duplicitous members in charge of covering the tracks on this.
Well,
It'll be fun, at least.
I'm wondering where the fuck my crew is gone. Gave them specific instructions to keep Imogen safe.
Assumed they may have taken a bit of a vacation.
Well, I might have to do some new hiring then.
Mistress and Evelyn against unionizing.
You're all fired, damn it.
As he leads you through the city hurriedly, he looks back and he says, I wanted to bury her at her church, but the father wouldn't let me. I brought her there and he said that he wouldn't give the last rites. I didn't want to. I had to find a smaller place. And continues to like lead you sort of out of the rich area of the city. And eventually comes to what is sort of like a grassier area. There's a lesser known graveyard that's sort of like, you can get into, but it's not high class. And it's not sort of like the dumping graveyard.
I know this place.
I've had to find something that I could bring her to.
You did all right, widow.
Thanks. I did save a lot from working with you. I had to spend a lot of it to get her here. And for the stone. And he leads you through the wrought iron fence, up sort of this hill. And there's a few trees. The trees are starting to grow their leaves again. There's sort of like the buds and a little bit here and there. And he leads you sort of to the back area. And there you see a relatively freshly buried grave with a bunch of dead flowers laid all over it.
Oh.
And a new-looking headstone. I didn't know when she was born, so... and kind of like shows you the headstone, and it has Imogen's name. I tried to contact her aunt, but I didn't know. I think Imogen said she was going to Montreal or something. I didn't know if she had any more family.
Yeah,
other than
you did all right.
Thanks.
I pat him as gently as I can on the shoulder.
He sinks into the ground.
Yeah. Thanks.
Storyteller, would I know if my blood is strong enough to bring Imogen back?
I believe it would be between you and Evelyn.
Right. I think Evelyn could do it because you're one more than me.
I'm Gen 12. Yeah.
Okay.
And Imogen's a baby.
Yeah.
Maybe Imogen.
All right. Well, are you near Travis, Octavia?
Sure.
So I'm. Well, I was asking because I'm trying to get in and whisper because I don't want him to know I'm here. Obviously.
What are you doing, Travis? Dig!
What,
And then I walk away from him.
Okay. Conveniently, Evelyn stealthily walks up to Octavia and whispers as quietly as she can. I might be able to bring her back, but we should make sure we are secluded, as this might be a sight for the young lad, and that we might have some explaining to do.
Yes, I was thinking of sending him on a fool's errand to get smelling salts and some sort of plant that doesn't exist.
Sort of digging in the mud now with his bare hands.
I'm right next to him and being like, all right, that's not how you do it. You gotta get really in there.
Prophet comes up next to you and thinks it's a game. So start.
Yes. Love that.
Travis, like, while this is happening, turns to you, Leon, and says, do you want to help?
No.
I'll be honest, not at all. Look at these nails. These are not the nails of somebody who does manual labor, and I am sorry about that, but I can always regale you with the story as you work.
I take off all of my not my nails, but I take off all of my whoa. I take off all my rings because like I just have gold rings with rubies like encrusted in them. I put them in my hat and I hand them to Leon, who still has my vest because I didn't take it back. And I'm like, yeah, just start digging.
I would be a story to settle my nerves might be nice.
All right, I can do that. What do I have to roll for storytelling?
I mean, you can say a story if you want.
Ooh.
Oh no.
The role player's dream.
Do tell.
I'm drawing a mental blank. I was like, what thing can I rip off? Just gonna start telling him the story of Star Wars. There
was this young boy
A long time ago.
who lived in
In
the
a galaxy far, far away.
Far away.
Some sort of desert farmer who, of little consequence in life, but remarkably trained with an arrow.
Whoa. Are you some sort of writer?
Well, actually, a writer and a poet, yes. A bit of I've been called a muse before, but you know that's.
You haven't really said anything too funny, but I suppose.
Here, are you a comedian yourself?
No, I don't have the brains for it. I did read a book recently. Dracula.
I have heard of that one. Is that the one about those? What were there? Some sort of nocturnal creature or something or the other?
Yeah. I haven't gotten too far. There's a lot of recipes in the beginning. I started making some of them, and then it got kind of scary. There's some wolves and a blue light or something.
From what I've heard, that book's a total slog. It doesn't get interesting or pick back up. It's not worth your time.
All right. I mean, I was feeling good about reading again, but
I mean, no, don't see. The thing is, don't let that stop your natural penchant for enjoying literature. Just maybe find one that's maybe a bit more interesting.
all right.
I lean over to Travis and I'm like, Carmilla's better.
Carmilla.
Yeah.
I'll try that then.
Yeah.
If I can find a copy, I'll do that. It's about this time that you feel a thong underneath your hands, Jerry. You did 90% of the work. Travis helped. Prophet did 9% of the work, and Travis did a cool 1.5. There's still a bit left. But
He brushes off the casket, and that's about it.
And it's a fairly nice casket. It's like polished wood. It's got no spaces or anything like that, and seems like he spent a bit of money getting one that would serve the test of time. This is it.
You must have really liked it.
We were going on for a bit. If you don't mind, I would like to step away. If Octavia is wrong, I don't think I can see her like that.
Yeah, best not.
Of course. She'll need the smelling salts from the trunk in the fiend's carriage. Perhaps you can get it for me.
Oh, the carriage wasn't there. He was just riding Fiend around.
Damn it.
I stored the carriage at my place. Do you want me to run to my home and get smelling salt?
I believe I smelt baby's breath at the entrance of the cemetery. Perhaps grab a fresh sprig of that and bring it back.
Oh, all right. I didn't see any babies, but I'll try. And he sort of like runs away.
It's a white flower! Okay, quickly, Evelyn, go!
Okay. Well, if somebody else could open the casket, that would be lovely.
I'll rip off the top.
Just snaps the hinges. And you see lying there, well preserved, is the still body of Imogen. Lots of cuts along her body that seem like they were attempted to be sewn up. And wearing a sort of like one of her dresses that has been also ripped and torn, but has also kind of been sewn up a bit. You get the impression that changing the dead body of Imogen was not on the top of Travis's list.
Fair. All right. Well, sorry, Imogen. This is not what you prefer, but desperate times. And I will take my sword and kind of slice my hand a bit and start feeding our young lady.
Your darker blood sort of trickles onto her lips and begins to seep in, and it is this moment, Imogen, that you awaken hungry and in pain within what appears to be a tight casket.
Oh, she just starts like flailing about, like kicking and hitting and
Ow. Ow. Stop. I just like hold you down. Just like.
Well, it sounds like it worked.
What? Evelyn, where'd you come from?
Well, over there specifically, and I point to where we walked from.
You now see that you are buried in a hole in what appears to be a graveyard.
But to be more specifically, pretty much the same place you just came from, my dear.
Well, that's not very good, is it?
No, not really.
I think she's just like lost for words at this moment in time. Like,
do we need a moment? I think she might need a moment.
Not to put pressure on you, dear, but we do have a bit of a time crunch. I told a fib to your love, Travis. Are you at that point yet? Either way,
madly shaking her head. No, what? No.
I do have a question for you, Imogen.
Yeah, what's up?
You had been on a few dates with Travis, and I'm curious what your method of obscuring your eye would be.
My headband.
Just your headband?
Just the headband.
High or low?
Oh, fuck me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Love it.
Oh, I dropped my dice. It's gone forever now.
Floor dice don't exist.
It's low. It's on the floor. It's so low.
Somehow, your headband managed to stay on. And
thank
being
God.
the decent lad that he is, he made no attempts to undress any part of you.
So pure. What a wholesome boy.
What a wholesome boy. That's with an I on the end, not a Y.
He'll be back in a moment. I did tell a fib that you had a fainting condition, and that hopefully the dirt would have been loose enough to allow you to have oxygen for a month. Hopefully he won't ask questions. But if you want to come clean, now would be the time.
No. Absolutely not. No way. No. But I did do something once that I might be able to do to help this. I might be able to make him forget that I was dead, maybe? Would that help? Maybe? Probably, right?
That's definitely better than my plan, so go for it.
I'm like max hunger though, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I can't like really do a rouse check.
Like, somebody find some fucking rats.
Yeah, yes, let's
go hunting for some goddamn rats. I
very,
was gonna
very
go look for
quickly.
some rats.
Wait, I might be able to do something with that. Ooh, do. Wait, it's atavism.
I think that's the one where you make animals get mad.
Well, they can frenzy and swarm, and she can just like pick one off, or as many as
But
she
they're
needs.
gonna attack us, and we already have like very.
They can
little
attack
health.
me. I'm meaty.
I mean, again, you can try. If you want to make them attack you, give me a rouse check.
Right. Doing that. Wait, where'd it go? Success.
Nice.
Yay!
And you're basically trying to focus outward for any animals that are in the area and send you as the target of their ire.
I like fighting.
All right.
Cloak of Shadows, baby. Let's go.
You hear chirping out in the distance, but not of rats or anything.
Oh, it's just fucking birds.
5 or 6 rabid-looking chipmunks emerge from the trees around the graveyard and begin sprinting towards Jerry, crawling up his legs and begin biting at his flesh.
Gimme.
I will just let you at this point as Jerry like comes over the worst kebab ever, and you can manage to grab some of the squirrels off of him. I'll let you
Yummy.
take away 1 hunger from this.
Well, okay.
You are no longer on the brink of frenzying, but are still very hungry and in a lot of, or like damaged a lot.
Imogen, what happened to you? Evelyn and I were together when we were attacked.
Well, Travis and I were out, and then we came back, and as he was walking me back, and then he left, and then I was attacked, and you can see she's like glancing over at Evelyn.
I'm not there. I'm invisible.
Oh, false. Octavia, is Evelyn nearby? Where'd she go?
I'm right here. I just was afraid that your boyfriend was going to come back.
Oh, well, do you want the bad news or the good news?
At this point, just give us the bad news, darling.
Well, the good news is that I'm back.
Yes.
What's the name of your friend? You've got that friend that does the bee thing, right? What's her name again?
Oh, Tanita.
It was her. She did it. I'm so sorry. It's
Wonderful. Good to know. I have some business to take care of very soon. Thank you for letting me know.
Was she
But you know, I'm
alone?
okay in the end though, so I think it all worked out fine.
What?
That's
Well,
not how.
we're here, and I'm fine. So
That's not how it works. She is going to pay for what she did. Probably with her own
Just,
life, to be honest with you.
what?
Were we home when you got home?
Was I home when they got home? What was I? Wait, what?
Were we already home when you arrived?
What was the timing of that?
It was near dawn.
Ooh, we were out for a long time.
I mean, you set a precedent that he should only date you at night.
It's not true.
But you would know that before this, the IOU had basically been informed by a lot of allies to hunker down and sort of shut down the business for a bit. And the ideal was that you went out on a date for something to do, and Evelyn's gang said they would keep an eye on you.
You know, I'm not quite sure it happened before I got back inside, so...
And did you see anyone else? Hear anything? Anything of note of where you were?
Was it just Tanita? Is the question.
I think it was just Tanita, I think. Yeah.
Well,
I mean...
I'll find out sooner or later.
Oh, you don't have to hurt her too bad though. Like I said, I'm fine now, so everything turned out okay.
Before you go and take care of your business, I did get bit by a bunch of little chipmunks. They said you were like a healer type. Can you help me?
For sure, absolutely, I can.
Just came back from the dead.
Of course.
Away.
I can, but it's gonna be a rouse, so we'll see.
Go ahead and give me a. Are you using Valerin?
Fuck me. Like
I'm gonna leave.
You know, by the way, hi, my name is Imogen. It's lovely to meet you. We haven't actually met yet.
Oh, it's nice to put a face to the name.
I would love to help you so much, but I also don't want to eat Travis, who's right, as far as I know, the only human around. And it's a bit of a risk if I do the healing thing, but you know what? I'll do it. I'll do this. Fine. I would do it.
No. I like a little chap. You're fine.
Meanwhile, you can see all of these like open wounds on Evelyn and Octavia.
Just like, the fuck is this?
I got a little bites from the squirrel. And Leon looks fine. Leon's,
Just standing holding Jerry.
If I found some more chipmunks, then I could absolutely help all of you out for sure.
Leon and Jerry have been instrumental in rescuing you, and Evelyn and I as well.
Leon, of course you're back as well. It's lovely to see you again.
You're looking quite good for someone who's been buried recently.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
You can see Leon, you would particularly be knowledgeable of this. Looking at Imogen, you can see that she is covered in makeup, like thick coated, basically corpse makeup. But underneath you can see all of these like welts on her skin, as well as a few like wounds that were sewn up that look like claw marks. And again, those are sort of like sewn up, and then even the like stitching has been covered with this like coated corpse makeup.
Say, Imogen, if you don't mind me asking, are you a purveyor of makeup?
Oh no, absolutely not. I believe that it's best to just show whatever the beauty God gives you is.
Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if a mirror would help you in this circumstance, but
Oh, a mirror wouldn't help. I can't see myself in them anyway.
that's what I was afraid of. I certainly was afraid of that.
It's also why I don't use makeup, is I don't know what I'm doing at all.
That does make sense. Well, you do happen to be covered in quite a bit of makeup, my friend. I just didn't know this was a not common occurrence. I would have spoken up about it a little earlier. There's also seems to be a bit of stitching and a few other things. I did a little bit of tour seamstress for a while. I've gotten quite adept at noticing these things.
When I see the welts and the claw marks, does it look like familiar work?
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
a few mortals with similar
Mhm.
looking wounds.
Yes.
The welts are definitely that of
Bee stings?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that Tanita can extend her claws.
Leon, I'm
Well,
gonna
does
take
it look
back all my
bad, the
stuff.
makeup?
You look beautiful, darling.
Oh, thank you.
As
All right,
always, I'm sure.
Yeah, you look right.
It's about this time that you can hear the squelching of Travis's feet through the mud.
Quick, somebody give her a jacket so we look like we are keeping her warm or something.
What if we just ran away? What if we just run and we don't have
In
to
my
see him? It's
in my
fine.
experience, that situation never leads to anything much better. I'll be honest. Let's not do that one.
Okay, time for me to be invisible now. Goodbye.
Imogen, when he
Are you
gives
gonna-
you the baby's breath, take a deep breath of them.
Right, breathing. I had something that I have to do. Right.
Mhm.
Is it cold out? Should I be shivering right now? I don't know.
You just came
Sure,
back
roll.
from a very bad fainting spell, so yes. Usually when
shake
humans are ill, they get the chills, I believe. That's a thing.
It is about this time that you see Travis sort of like standing a few rows of gravestones away, holding actually what appears to be baby's breath.
Wow, you did it.
Good job.
What a
Just like
good boy.
jaw drop,
Good boy.
staring at you.
Hooray, dear boy!
I like lower myself to the ground so I'm not just like standing there.
Oh no, it's happening again! And runs over. Octavia, what do I do?
Just put it under her nose and waft it to her. Waft it like so. And I demonstrate.
It's kind of like wishing at it.
Absolute
Take a
bullshit,
big
man.
ol' sniff.
You should notice the effects immediately.
I take a big old sniff.
It's working, but it's
As if some sort of miracle, Imogen is okay.
I don't even know if you should roll for that. I could've s-
Somehow Palpatine survived.
Excellent. Good.
I could have sworn I saw her standing, but
I know. I was.
You're okay.
it did-
Imogen, and he sort of like comes down and like supports your head, even though you're already fully supporting it, and sort of like looks down at you, and you can see that like
if she could blush.
Oh, sorry, my hands are dirty. And sort of like wipes one hand on his shirt, and then sort of like puts it behind your head, and then wipes the other one on his shirt, sort of puts it behind your head.
She immediately forgets to breathe.
It's like you've stolen her breath away, my friend.
I heard you scream.
Yep.
I thought you were dead.
No.
I'm so sorry. I should have waited.
No. It's all good. It's fine. You know, these things happen more often than you think in Ireland.
Jesus.
Okay.
You just say I'm just like this. I'm Irish, you know.
Do like a history check to see if he knows what Ireland is
You
like.
can't.
because
You can't
that's
ask me about it. It's rude to ask if an Irish person faints a lot.
It runs in the family.
All right, I've
So-
been pretty lenient. I'm gonna need.
That's because I was committed.
I'm gonna need a charisma and manipulate here.
Good. That's all
Oh
my.
no, sorry,
all
those
of-
are two different attributes. I need a charisma and persuasion.
same amount of dice. Oh, but it's
Boy.
like all fucking hunger dice though.
If you get successes, it doesn't matter.
It's a six dice.
Fingers crossed.
I'm scared. It's 3 successes.
He kind of like looks at you for a moment, and you can just hear the gears working in his brain. And he looks up at Leon and at Jerry, looks over at Octavia, down at Prophet. I sort of like puts his hand down and like holds your hand and like stands up and sort of helps you to your feet.
You know, if I ever have children, they'd probably do the same thing.
Sometimes it's better not to ask questions or question
Bring up
reality.
kids, freak 'em out.
I'm so glad that you're alive. You must all have a lot of catching up to do. I trust her in your care.
I guess I'll look over at Belgium Jerry because beefy, and I'll be like, hold me back if anything goes wrong. Travis, and I'm gonna try to forgetful mind him, but I gotta do a rouse check.
Give me
so
a
I'm really
rouse
scared.
check.
Jerry, hold me back if anything goes wrong.
What?
All right.
It's like Timon
7.
and
That's a
Pumbaa.
7. That's a 7. That's a 7.
How much do you erase?
I'm just changing dead to on a trip to Ireland.
All right. You
So the language I was gone for the past month is still like acceptable, I think. But I was just away on a trip.
so a couple things happen. As you
I
build
have to roll for it. Or does it not matter if he's mortal?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You build this narrative and you sort of are talking to him. And as Imogen is saying all of this and Travis sort of like, you can see just like moments of his mind wash before him. Evelyn, Octavia, Jerry, and Leon.
No.
The sweetest smell
I
fills
was
the
fuck me.
air.
No,
I was gonna ask.
made a grave
question.
mistake.
You, for a moment, remember, as you were mortals, just the most delectable meal you have ever tasted in your life.
Grave mistake. Fuck me.
And I'm going to need all of you to roll willpower.
I was gonna ask a question. I sent you a little message.
You sent
Can
me
I
a message?
on Zoom because we're doing the meets in the Zoom for this different
I don't know
thing.
where to look.
Basically, I was gonna try to sneak away to do something, and I'm gonna meet them at Hyde Park. So
All right.
I don't. Can I stealth check to see if anybody notices that I leave?
No, you're-
I'm invisible.
I don't think anybody except for Octavia has Auspex, and I think your
Okay.
your
I also have
obfuscate is
Auspex.
higher.
I
Yeah,
don't also.
Auspex buddies.
Oh,
Wow.
everyone's never mind. Everyone has
Everyone has
Auspex except for
Auspex.
Jerry. How much is your obfuscate
Right.
though, Evelyn?
I'm 1, 2, 3. I have 4 points in obfuscate.
Oh, God.
Does anyone have 4 or more Auspex?
I do.
You do?
Oh, no, I don't. I
Okay.
almost
Okay.
did. I almost bought one, but then I didn't. I colored it in and I crossed it out.
All right.
I have 3.
Yeah, you're good to sneak
Okay.
away then, and I'll imagine that
So-
you did. You said you were gonna do this before.
No, I actually don't think I said anything to anyone.
Well, you messaged me. Which
Yes.
I believe you. All right. So for those of you who haven't, willpower is any of the willpower tracks that you have not filled in. So usually it's about 4 dice or something. So
Wait, the ones that are not filled in?
yeah.
Oopsies.
I got
One
4
bad.
successes.
There we go. That's better. I got 3 successes.
All right.
I got 3 as well.
All right.
Okay, thank God.
Jerry, as you're holding Imogen, you feel just like cold drips on your hand, and you look down and you see just this bright crimson, and notice that it is falling from Imogen's forehead. All of you instinctively like fight back this feeling to devour this blood, but manage to hold back and don't. And you see as Travis sort of like lingers around and sort of looks around the graveyard, seeming to like lose sight of all of you, says, "Strange. I don't know why I'm here. Best go."
We were just out for a stroll. It was lovely seeing you. Now that I'm back from my trip, and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe bye now. And I start running away.
All right. Bye. Does anyone follow after?
I mean, yeah, I would.
I think I wait the appropriate amount of time to just kind of let him sit here for a second, and then I walk off.
I finish getting dressed again and
That's right, yes.
and follow after everyone.
Bye. I guess.
Travis, I stop. We have an urgent issue that we need to attend to, but there are pressing matters at the IOU as well. Could you do me a favor and please head there? Don't touch anything, but just be a presence there in case anyone comes.
All right. I suppose that now that Imogen's back, we'd open up shop again. All right. Sounds good. And sort of like, why am I dirty? Sort of like dusts himself off and walks away. Without noticing what name is on the grave.
Thank God he a dumb. Okay.
He a dumb. And just sort of walks out of the graveyard.
As I turn to head back with everyone, before I go, I'm going to slice open my thumb and I'm going to use corrosive vitae on the headstone.
Ooh, solid. Give me a Raz check.
Yes, I will. That's a 7.
Ouch.
Can't stop me.
Look, as you do and you splash it on the gravestone, you see the name and year just fade away.
I feel it.
Kind of melts. That's true. Sorry.
I feel it in my bones.
Jerry, who's still getting dressed, you just watch Octavia splash corrosive blood on this gravestone and it erases all of the name.
Oi, how you do that?
It's a Tremere thing.
And on
That's
that note,
my thing, my blood magic. If you're lucky, I might teach you a thing or two.
No, I don't think that's my kind of thing.
on that note, as all of you take your appropriate time to leave the graveyard, we're going to take a break.
Stress.
Okay. See you soon.
Be right back.
Yummy!
Good morrow, fine patron. Are you looking for music for your character, campaign, or Twitch stream? Does music move you like prune juice after a colonic? Well, here at OBP Musical, we write music from any genre, from fully orchestrated pieces like this, to video game auditory herpes like this. We have singers from Les Miserables and Disney for vocals like this.
The heroes of the North, with them we'll sally forth. The warrior knight, the maiden of Ed.
Have a bard that's written lyrics? We can write music for them. So, if you want music that rocks, come to us at OBP Musical and get your rocks off. That sounded weird. Music and songs from any genre, from opera to country, pop to thrash metal. We are jacks of all trades. OBP Musical, music for any occasion. Birthdays, weddings, having a bris. We've got you covered when others don't. Go to obpmusical.com for more info.
It's time to geek around and find all the amazing things at Geeky Tendencies. Get equipped for one of their one-shot adventures with a dice bag complete with pockets to fit all your game gear and spell books, perfect for keeping track of all your mystical abilities. Why stop there? You can get your dice trays, vaults, bags, spell books, minis, and pocket adventures all in one place. And now you can even get 10% off store-wide with the promo code TIDDIES10. So adventure on over to geekytendencies.com. I've been working on my Steve cosplay, and I found the perfect piece to finish it off at the costume shop. They have wigs, costumes, contacts, and they even have a cosplay section on their website for people just like me. Head on over to thecostumeshop.com/REF tabletop tiddies to get started. That's TheCostumeshop.com, spelled ye old way. Make sure to use the code Tabletop Tiddies with double D's to get yourself $10 off at checkout. Maybe I should make a Imogen White cosplay next.
We have just left the graveyard where a whole bunch of chicanery has happened. And Evelyn, you have snuck off back into a more populated district away from the graveyard, still shrouded in your shadows. What is it that you wish to do?
I would like to find an alleyway that has no one in it, and I would like to attempt to summon William.
All right. It's easy enough to find this area again.
I'm still invisible.
Yes. And making your way into the alleyway, you send out your beacon to call your most loyal ghoul, and you can feel your... I never asked, how does this work? How do you envision this functioning?
I think it has something to do with him smelling my blood, but I don't know how to do that when he's very far away.
I mean, he does...
Maybe I slice a bit of my thumb and I lick it, and then it's like a telepathic, like, hey, get the fuck over here, you stupid bitch.
Because he would have some of your blood in him, so it's like you're triggering that blood.
Yeah, there we go.
And I say would, because it has been a month.
I wanted to see if it would work.
And he hasn't done his feeding recently. So as you do this and you slice your thumb and you focus on that telepathic bond, you do feel something. But it is faint and it is almost as hungry as you are. But it just can't quite reach. And you sort of wait there.
Pinpoint where it is?
No, unfortunately. It's not.
Okay.
But you wait for a moment because there have been times where he's gone on a long mission and hasn't had a chance to feed. So you wait and you can feel that connection is still there and you can feel the need to come join you, but something is preventing it from happening and no matter how long you wait, he doesn't show up.
Do I know where he usually resides?
Very close.
I'm assuming I would know.
Yeah, he has, you have a section of the sewer that is basically like a carved out residence for those gang members that just either don't want to go to the surface or can't.
Right.
So there's almost like a camp area underneath the streets.
I think I would like to go to there.
All right. You will head off there, and in the meantime, Imogen, how long are you running, or are you just trying to get away from the graveyards?
I'm just trying to get away. It's
All
spooky.
You're Spooky. Hanging out with Evelyn in the graveyard freaks you out.
Yeah, the last time I was in a graveyard, we were robbing someone's clothes.
That was a good
Oh,
time.
yeah. That was a good one.
You got some good clothes. It doesn't take long for Leon, Jerry, Prophet, and Octavia to join you again. Sort of on the edge of the street now. The graveyard across the street from where you're standing.
Well then, shall we go?
Or anybody seen Evie?
She does it sometimes where she just kind of goes.
My first instinct is that she's not happy with Tanita. She does need to keep her underground in check. She'll find us when she's done.
You
Imogen,
sure?
like, plugs her ears. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm fine, so there's no reason for any sort of trouble.
But do you think Evelyn is the sort to not enjoy a little bit of trouble?
Not when it's against her. She's one for drama, but not in revolving around herself, if you know what I mean. The gift of the Harpy title is one that suits her well. She needs to know everyone's secrets. Secrets against her, working against her. Whew, I pity the fool that attempts it.
Right.
I could go for another squirrel or something if maybe on our way back.
You can give me a composure and animal, Ken, while you are traveling through the city. It's also not long before you hear the of Fiend making her way next to you, Octavia, as you are now flanked by your animals once more.
These are all hunger die.
Oh, no!
I got one success. Do I have any willpower, or do I have no real willpower?
You have
coming out of-
willpower, yeah.
Oh, but I can't re-roll my hunger die, right? So
Nope.
JK. JK, I got one.
Unfortunately, you're too distracted by the hunger to sort of be able to keep your composure and find any rats. That like guilty bit in the back of your mind of, you know, you could just find a human to feed on.
Nope.
That hunger of the beast rising up, kind of testing your resolve. But where are the lot of you heading now?
Hyde Park, right?
Lead the way, Jerry.
Oi, you can Oi, you can all meet my good friend Brutus.
Interesting.
Who?
Tell me more. Yes.
Oh, well, he's what you call a garu. Yeah. He's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like whisper to Octavia. Do you know what that is?
The wolves, sweetheart. The werewolves.
Ah, great. Well,
Imogen, I have to tell you, I don't think I did. Right before we came to find you, I did receive a vision of Marguerite running. I could hear her running. There was the smell of pine, and I heard the wolves howl, so we assume she's in desperate need of our assistance. But of course, you were
Great.
our number one priority.
Great. Well, how far away is it? Are we walking? Like, are we going to walk? How far away is it?
It was 8 acres away, but that was before we went to the cemetery.
It was 4 districts away. But you actually moved away from it to get to the graveyard. You're still in the City of London district, but there is a few between you. So doing it on foot, unless you sprinted as vampires through the city, might be a bit difficult.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna leg it.
Perhaps we can find a carriage?
Well, where's our carriage?
I don't know. Travis took Fiend and dismantled her carriage.
We
Bloody idiot.
I,
Travis, he's been through so much.
I could simply hail us a carriage.
Realistic cabbage.
I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult to find like a carriage that has been tied up for the night. I mean, it wouldn't even really be that hard to find horses that have been. You're in Victorian London. There's people have to keep their horses in stables and stuff, and you've never turned to petty theft before.
I
you know,
have.
if we're nearby Travis's, then we could stop by and get our carriage. But I don't know how good it would be to maybe run into him again so quickly.
I sent him to the IOU.
I can solve this problem, no problem. So I go over to the nearest carriage on the street that's tied up.
Give me a
And I'm
wits
gonna
and
just, like-
awareness.
Yeah. Wits and awareness.
Well, be-
I'm not good at either one of those.
See, I say this. Kelly doesn't know if there were like parking spots in Victorian London. I assumed people put them like undercover. Like they probably had like rooms and stables and stuff from them, right?
This
Like
is whatever
carports,
you
but
want.
not for cars.
Yeah, you find a multi-layer parking garage for, and the horses are still tied to the carriages because that's how it works,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. One success. Was my hunger die?
I'll say it takes a bit.
You can also use a willpower if you want to.
That's true.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
spend one
And
of your willpower.
reroll.
Re-roll up to 4 non-hunger dice. just
Still
to,
one success. That was useless.
Oh no! Sorry.
it takes a bit. Does anyone else want to do anything? Well, Cherry's like, I got this, and then proceeds to like walk down streets, look down alleyways. Nope. Oh, it's just going to.
No, you're not there.
I whisper lowly to Leon, this does seem like something you would have access to. Any leads?
Oh, I was just going to ask someone to give us a ride, but this works as well. That way we wouldn't have to hide the carriage when we're done with it or leave it somewhere unsuspecting. So I would like to look for a person who's maybe carrying out this late at night.
Sure. You can go ahead and give me a wits and awareness as well.
Some joy carriagers.
Just Jerry's running around. Nope, not down this alley. Oh, here we go.
I love Jerry so much. I have a decent amount of wits and a decent amount of awareness. Combine them and maybe I'll do okay.
Do better than me.
I mean, it won't be hard.
Savage.
She says.
Rude.
Affectionate. It won't be hard affectionate. So that is... It's 2 10s for a crit, right?
Yeah,
And does that make that...
that makes it 4 successes.
Okay, so that's 6 successes.
Leon, as
How
you
will I
are
die?
as you are strolling through the streets, your miscreant pals in tow. Again, as I said, the streets are very desolate right now, and it's almost like coming out of a party at 3 a.m. and you and your friends are the only ones walking down the street. But you spot a faint glow in the darkness. And standing just outside of a small sort of like carriage home is a older looking woman dressed in her nightgown, holding a cigarette, sort of just like smoking, unaware of your presence at the moment.
Hi there. I'm sorry about bothering you at this late hour.
Oh, are you? I wasn't supposed to be out here. Who are you?
I'm just a bit of a traveler, and Um, a bit of an auteur. The name is Leon Cavallo. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And you are?
Sort of like puts her cigarette in the other hand, and puts out her hand. Madeline.
Madeline, what a excellent and wondrous name. I have had a bit of an odd request, and I do hope you'll humor me at least to hear it out.
It's a bit late for the lot of you. What kind of requests are you asking?
Well, a couple of friends of mine, we were out enjoying a bit of drink, and one of our friends, the one, unfortunately, with the carriage turned in a bit early, and I was wondering if I could potentially get a ride home.
Kind of like pulls a long drag. You don't one of them vampires, are you?
Oh, is it from a book? I'm a bit too much of a socialite to actually read the things people are talking about. I mostly skim them.
Right. And it was the carriage you wanted. You want a
Yes.
ride?
Absolutely. I greatly appreciate a ride.
Well, it's what's in it for me?
Well, I mean, I am a bit of an artist. Maybe I could give you exchange for some work, something of that matter. Would that be able to suffice?
I don't need no art.
Well, what would you like from me?
How much you got on you?
Great question.
Actually,
If anyone's gonna have some walking around cash,
which is funny because I would assume that Leon has no money on him and entirely uses his persuasion and abilities, but that's up to you. Would you have just
I assume that my good buddy Otho gives me a little bit of walking around cash.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's
so
so good.
I'll say that you have like any citizen carrying this amount would get to the point of like kind of feeling uncomfortable walking around.
Okay. I'll take fourth of that. And see if that's
And she sort of like takes it and all right, let me grab my coat. Meet me out back.
You are a lifesaver. I greatly appreciate you.
And sort of puts out her cigarette and goes inside. And you can go around the back, and you see a pretty modest looking stable, and you get the impression that this is with the kind of like not a cab. I imagine they weren't called cabs back then, but sort of like a commercial transport carriage, and a couple horses that are sort of like tied up in the stables. And Jerry, you eventually kind of walk through the alleyway and you see this, and you're like, oh, found one. And then you see your friends sort of walking out the back as well.
Oi,
Jerry?
Leo! I found one!
Once again, my friend, it is Leon. But I happen to have secured us some passageway, if you wouldn't mind accompanying all of us.
All right.
And eventually you see the back door like open up, and she is now wearing like a pretty heavy looking hat, and a large coat that she's sort of strapped up. And she says, all right, you're a big lad.
Heard that before.
Sort of like wipes her hands off. Madeline, and puts out her hand.
Jerry.
Jerry. And as she shakes your hand, she sort of puts her left hand and sort of drapes it, showing that there's no ring.
I flash all of my rings, and I'm like, pleasure.
Pleasure. And sort of like blushes a bit. and hops up on the carriage. Well, you and your friends.
I help her up.
Oh my god.
Smooth.
Just like you put her up and just like you see this like life burst into her that is just so sweet. And she kind of sort of scoots over, and there's probably room for you up here.
All right. I climb up there.
Just like
Incredible.
I'll follow along on mine here, and I pat Fiend as I get up.
Excellent. And then realizes she forgot to tie up the horses and kind of gets down and ties up the horses, gets back up. Lost
I
myself.
drape my arm around her just so I can fit more comfortably.
And allows Leon and Imogen to get in.
If Imogen could blush. So much physical touching.
I think Leon is not jealous, because that would imply I wanted it. I'm mostly mad that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I avert my eyes. All three of them.
And kind of like turns back into and there's like a sort of window facing into the main carriage area, and looks back and says, where was it that you were going?
Oh, we're going to Hyde Park, love.
Oh, all right. Hyde Park it is. And sort of like, and the horses begin to trot off, Fiend following alongside, and Prophet hot at the heels.
Has Fiend been taken care of?
Yeah.
While we're riding, I'm gonna slack one hunger off of her on the way.
All right. And you can tell that it has the fact that it has been a while. Fiend is like very excited to do this, but Fiend has never been like as pervasive as Prophet has, and it's sort of like more of a sustaining thing than like giving raw power. And you feel the like power burst back into Fiend, just like kind of what felt like a normal horse for a bit kind of turns more into that like muscular stallion as you trot by. In the meantime, Evelyn,
Hi.
you have made it into the sewers and trudged your way through, finding your way to the familiar sort of camp area that is built underneath the offices of the IOU.
Mm-hmm.
And it is empty. Give me a wits and awareness.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use a willpower.
All right.
Okay, so that's 5.
5.
A crit, thank God. 'Cause
Damn.
I had like 1 before, so.
You scour this area, and not only is it empty, but it seems like a lot of like the supplies and information gathering that has happened here have been stripped away. You find where you used to have like a map built into a table with like dots of information and sort of gathered clues or like mysteries and stuff like that has been collected and torn away. You find that all of the packs of your gang, all of their weapons and stuff have also been gathered. And there is scraps to be left behind. But with a 5 and a crit, you notice sort of in like the central area of this meeting place, splashes of blood, dried. Well, not dried, it's the sewer. Sort of preserved, if you will, from the moisture in the air. this sort of like collected pool of blood with what appears to be trajectory.
Would I, if I took a bit of that blood and tasted it, would I be able to tell whose blood it is?
I think of this canon, yes.
Well,
You sort of grab a bit of it and lick it, and there is a bit of your own blood in there, and William's as well. But with with a 5, you know that the amount of blood that is in this area is not enough to kill a human. It looks more like
seriously injured?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it leading anywhere? Or is it just off into the fucking...
You get the impression that it was more this centralized area probably rendered him unconscious or unable to fight back, and then was possibly moved somewhere else.
Okay.
But
I know where they went. Fuck.
But
It
you
doesn't
are.
matter. If I tried to summon him again, it doesn't matter. I can't see where he is. So
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck. I don't know what to do. I think I'm still invisible, just in case there's anyone around. So I think I just fucking grab one of the scraps, crumple it, and just chuck it at the wall angrily, and just fuck.
Just like Elden Ring, an invisible wall.
Yeah. Well, that's where they are.
I will tell you that you are underneath the IOU.
I might as well go in. I'm invisible.
All right. You find that staircase leading up to your dungeon area. And as you press through and pull yourself up, your room is somewhat in disarray. You remember being attacked suddenly, and you see the evidence of battle and the 1 or 2 bodies of mortals around that have at this point sort of dried up from being here for a month. But there's a lot less than you remember. You remember being attacked by a battalion of mortals, but there's 3 dead around you.
Huh. Are they all dead by my hand, or is there something fucky about them?
No, definitely. There's clear, clean slashes of your dueling.
I guess I'm gonna look around and see if I can see anything out of the sort that would maybe hint as to what happened, even though I'm not trained in the the occult.
You want to try to figure out?
I want to find out why I remember so many dudes, but there's 3 dudes.
Give me an intelligence and occult.
Okay, I'm gonna rouse the blood.
All right.
Because I need to. I passed.
You passed. Perfect.
That's 2 extra die for the scene? Okay.
Eventually you get more if you start eating other vampires.
Well, I do have to find Tanita.
Ooh.
That bitch is fucked. Okay, sorry, you said intelligence and occult?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. 4 successes.
Damn. You remember standing in your dungeon when the attack happened, and you know for a fact that the wards would have prevented any kind from coming in. But being trained in the arts, you would know that an illusion could make its way in. And as you sort of pull on that thread, you remember back to the fair, Le Foire de Nuit, where the presentation of the Ravnos
Yes.
happened, and how their specialty was illusions. And I've apologies, I think I asked this last episode. Has Evelyn read the book?
Yes, I believe. I don't know if she's read the whole thing. She's definitely read a bit of it because it is being talked about so much, and that is the rumor on the street right now.
And I think that you would have probably been pointed at some key points. And listen, Victorian era, whatever, there's some problematic points of that book.
Yes.
And under that layer of problematic Romani language, the true nature of the Ravnos existed in that book as an ally of Dracula. And we're going to switch back to the other group as they approach Hyde Park. The wind picks up. The city, desolate. You see people here and there. Your carriage driver, flustered and trying to pull little bits of casual conversation here and there, bringing you through Holborn, Covent Garden, Soho. You're getting near the area where you remember one of your earlier investigations where you helped the widow exorcise her late husband. And you approach Hyde Park and you hear howls. You can hear cries and yips from within the park of activity. And your carriage driver sort of like slows for a moment. She says, something's happening there. I don't think you want to go in there.
That's all right, love. It's just a bit of fun.
What? You don't want... I've heard rumors about this place. Are you sure you want to go in there?
Maybe I didn't tell you exactly who I am. I'm Belgian, Jerry. From down at the docks. Belgian brawler.
They're rolling.
I think I've heard of you. My brother fought you, didn't he?
Hey, sorry about that then, love.
Well, it took him a bit to recover, but yeah, I heard about you. Are you saying that you're gonna go fight the wolves?
No. It's just a bunch of... Is it... Leon?
Yes.
What we doing here?
We're trying to look for our friend.
Yeah. They just brought me along because I might know a bloke in here.
And they're in Hyde Park?
Apparently.
All right.
Yes.
All right then. Well, I am getting paid, and sort of like cracks the whip a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good job, love. Give her a half squeeze.
And brings you to the edge of Hyde Park. And the howls are loud and angry. And she stops and looks at all of you and says, I'm end of the road.
Yeah, it seemed about far enough. I am physically excited. I'm practically shaking next to her. I'm like, yeah. Every time I hear a howl, I just want to hop off the car.
It was nice to meet you. And sort of hops down and opens up the door to the carriage to let Leon and Imogen out.
Thank you very kindly. And let me, of course, give you this as a little bit of a tip. And I'll give another fourth of the amount of money I have on me.
She kind of takes it, and you can tell that, like, that's the last thing on her mind now. She takes it and sort of puts it in her jacket. And
I think I also will lean in and whisper, "Don't worry, I'll make sure that one's okay."
right. I mean, he seems to be capable of protecting himself.
Yeah, he's excitable. He'll be okay.
If you're in trouble with this lot, you let me know.
Are you invested in helping us now?
No, I mean, you can get back on and sort of like looks at Imogen. This one looks like a corpse, and that dog doesn't seem right.
Like I said, collective of artists.
Right. All right then. And sort of backs away, allowing Imogen to get out. And gets back on the horse and just gets back on the carriage and just sort of like quietly trots back into the city.
I give her a wink as she leaves and wave goodbye.
Kind of nods and tips her hat at you and goes off into the fog. You look
Jerry,
off.
my friend.
Oh, go ahead.
You were flirting with her on purpose, correct? I just want to make sure we're all aware of that. Because we all just had to kind of pretend that wasn't happening.
Well, nice enough to let us use her carriage.
I paid her.
Oh. Well, she was cute, so...
Fair enough. I didn't know if you were being polite or deliberate, and I just wanted to make sure.
Polite? I'm always polite.
All right.
Imogen takes like a small step away from Belgium.
Jerry doesn't notice. He's too excited to fight.
All of you collectively standing on the edge of Hyde Park. The first bit of it is like kind of open, nice field for gathering and picnics and stuff. There's like paths built into it, with benches and whatnot. It's lit with oil lanterns that at this point, this late into the night, have sort of died out. And the path leads off into the woods. And those of you who have come by here, usually on a regular night, it's well kept and whatnot. But something about this night, the trees seem gnarled and bent into the path, sort of creating this lead in. And something about this forest just feels off. And you can hear these howls. And Octavia, you hear next to you Prophet just giving out this low guttural growl. Just this.
Prophet, you know we are here for a reason. We need to find Marguerite. We can't be attacking things unless it's in defense.
And you feel that like reluctant obedience. What do you do?
Keep your nose sharp, my friend.
Just the smiling dog that is actually very vicious. And what do you all do?
Right. Quick stretch. We waiting on Evie, or we just gonna go?
I see in my head. Lynn like, oh nah.
Nah, fam, don't wait up.
Well, I think that maybe she might be wild, maybe? Octavia?
I would agree. This is something that we can probably at least find her on our own and get back to the IOU. Reconvene.
All right. With that, I'm gonna turn towards the park. Activate Eyes of the Beast. Have them glow like really red, and be like, Let's go find your friend.
Please don't get yourself murdered.
It's part of the fun.
I should let you know, Jerry. Actually, Storyteller, I know that the Marguerite lost her soul and was hoping to get her soul tied back to her, but do I know that she specifically went here looking for them to help her?
Yeah, you were told by Florence, I believe,
Okay.
that the werewolves of Hyde Park would be able to help her as long as she went. Oh no, sorry, Constance Ambergris told you to that Marguerite could go to the werewolves of Hyde Park specifically alone, and they would help her reattach her soul.
Okay.
And that was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Marguerite came with specific instructions to be alone, but the need was very dire. Her soul had been detached from her body. We had only just recently found it in a doll. And I don't want to step on any toes. I don't want any of us to cause any disagreements that can be avoided here. We just need to find Marguerite and bring her home safely.
You're not here to find Marguerite. It's fine. I'm here for a fight. So, I mean, it's a nice cover story, right? You're here to watch me fight.
Great.
I nod.
I'll go over and I'll loop Octavia's arm in mine and stick very close to her.
I'm trying out for my new patron, Leon.
Is that more of the cover story, correct?
Yeah, right?
Yes. Okay, I can.
You're fancy.
Well, you're correct. Can you actually make sure to address me as Leon Cavallo then, and not Leo Cavallo?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, lead the way then, Jerry.
Right.
So
So yeah, take him into a park.
And as Jerry walks into the woods along the path leading into this gnarled, dark woods, Imogen and Octavia in tow, Leon, apparently a new manager, following along. Imogen, something's not right. Something is evil in this woods. Something is corrupt. And that's where we're going to leave it.
Oh boy.
Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me?
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly
Yay.
go wrong? Ugh.
I scare.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. No, but for real though, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. And if you did, then you know what? The best way to support us is to head on over to patreon.com/tabletop tiddies. When you become a patron, you get access to a multitude of behind-the-scenes snippets, polls that affect our games, bonus episodes, and more. We also have a merch store. If you'd like to get Evelyn on your t-shirts or any of our D&D stuff, or a notebook with the Tiddies By Night logo on it, or many more things, and we're always thinking up new ideas, then you should go and check out all of the cool designs we have to offer at tabletoptiddies.threadless.com. Speaking of supporting these titties, our Indiegogo shout out for this evening goes to Beverly Field. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Bev.
Thank you.
Backing this campaign and helping us get season 3 off the ground. We could not do it without you. Last but not least, make sure to follow us on social media at Tabletop Tiddies. And if you tweet using hashtag TTTiddies, you can get an NPC named after you. Maybe there's werewolves that need names. Who knows?
Yeah.
Werewolves always need names.
Watch Casper just tweet just for that.
Yeah.
The werewolf could be you.
This werewolf, Casper. Whoa.
Wow. Hey, you can find all of this info on our website at www.tabletoptiddies.com. And remember, when we say titties, it is with double D's.
Wow.
Hopefully, we will see you next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for our D&D show, Escaping Tessera. And then we'll see you again for this lovely show on Wednesday. So, yeah.
There is one other Vampire the Masquerade streaming right now. Should I raid them?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let's raid them. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Next week we'll go into the woods.
Into the
woods.
woods.
Out of